almost 10 years.
10 years. 10.
That's what 500 episodes sounds like. New episodes every Thursday. Listen to My Favorite Murder on the iHeartRadio app, Apple Podcasts, or wherever you get your podcasts. Goodbye.
Portions of the following program were pre-recorded. Number one on your car radio preset in the new and improved iHeartRadio app. WFLA AM Tampa, WXTV HD2 Clearwater News Radio, WFLA.
Controversy has been stirred up over T-shirts worn by certain members of the Duval County School Board at a recent meeting. The shirts were reportedly pink and had the phrase, "This is the turning point," emblazoned on them. Parents and other council members interpreted that as a misappropriation of Breast Cancer Awareness Month and using it to platform a political agenda. News 4 Jack spoke to Duval County School Board Chair Charlotte Joyce.
I never, ever meant or wanted it to offend anyone. That was not my intention.
Joyce did confirm in that interview that the shirts were inspired by a memorial to Charlie Kirk. A 15-year-old has been arrested and charged for shooting and killing a 16-year-old in Orange County. Sheriff John Mina spoke at a press conference where he described how the shooting stemmed from a simple argument.
You know, I'm really angry that something as small as bumping into someone in the halls of a high school has now turned into a deadly shooting of a 16-year-old.
After the shooting, the 15-year-old ran back to the high school where he was apprehended by the school's resource officer and reportedly had a gun in his possession. He was charged with manslaughter and for possession of a firearm on school property, while 16-year-old Panay DeMalsi died from his injuries. The Miami Dolphins are expecting their star quarterback to play this Sunday at home against the Chargers. Tua Tagovailoa is nursing a hip injury along with a thumb issue. Head coach Mike McDaniel said Tua will work through the pain. However, he'll be without wide receiver Tyreek Hill, who suffered a season-ending knee injury. The Dolphins are 1-4. Florida's East Coast has seen its share of heavy rain in recent days, and combined with a king tide has led to several neighborhoods in the Titusville and Merritt Island areas to be underwater, with some streets unpassable and residents trapped in their homes. Experts say climate change has caused baseline sea level to rise, meaning that king tides now push water further inland and cause more frequent flooding along Florida's coastal areas. With Florida's news, I'm Tim Adkins.
It's Ryan.
And I'm Dana.
Join us Monday morning at 5 on the Ryan Gorman Show.
On News Radio WFLA.
From the O2.com Traffic Center. O2.com, the only business software you will need.
In the northern part of Tampa, you're going to see some construction on Fowler Avenue between 51st Street and River Hills Drive. Expect to see ongoing lane closures in both directions, hampering your drive. Also, road work to watch out for on Dr. King Jr. Boulevard in Tampa by North 12th Street. Expect to see lane closures as you pass your way through there. If you're going through the Plant City area, all directions of US 92 eastbound are shut down at Wheeler Street with road work as well. Plan to use the assigned detours working your way through. Steve Foster, News Radio WFLA.
From the Storm Pro Solution Roofing and Restoration Weather Center.
Happy Saturday, Tampa Bay. Tracking a pretty quiet day all around. Comfortable to start this morning with cooler than average temperatures in the upper 60s, low 70s. A light breeze from time to time, but overall mainly cloudy to start. Eventually, the cloud cover will break away, bringing us a little bit of sunshine through the late afternoon, evening hours today. High temperatures warm up into the low to maybe mid-80s, around 83, 84 degrees, and with a limited 10% chance of a spot shower possible this afternoon. I'm Max Defender 8 meteorologist Juliana Mejia.
No name, but plenty of punch. I'm Daria Albinger, Fox News. When we think of severe storms this time of year, it's usually a tropical system of some kind. That isn't what's developing off the southern Atlantic coast, but forecasters are still plenty worried. They expect it to become a nor'easter, which could blast the eastern seaboard with heavy rains, damaging wind, and dangerous surf. And in its crosshairs are some big cities, including New York.
Yes, there is rain this weekend. We're monitoring that as well. But the big concern is that ocean water getting pushed into low-lying areas by this storm and impacting those coastal communities around the city.
Zach Iscol, New York City's Emergency Management Commissioner, a state of emergency will be taking effect this evening in New Jersey. Nearly 24 hours after an explosion at a munitions plant in rural Tennessee, at least 18 people are still unaccounted for. The plant is now nothing but smoldering rubble.
People reportedly felt this explosion from miles away, and this all happened around 7:45 at Accurate Energix Systems in Tennessee, about 50, 60 miles outside of Nashville, and it develops and manufactures some explosives for military purposes, but also for things like demolitions and aerospace, so the destroyed building was likely filled with explosives.
That's Fox's Madison Scarpino. President Trump is expected to travel to Israel next week for the next steps in the Gaza peace deal.
I think you're going to have tremendous success, and Gaza is going to be rebuilt. And you have some very wealthy countries, as you know, over there. And it would take a small fraction of their wealth to do that. But and I think they want to do it.
20 living hostages, along with the bodies of 28 others, will be swapped with about 2,000 Palestinian prisoners. The president says Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu is happy with the deal. America's listening to Fox News.
Hi, I'm Benny Jr. with Bartow Ford. Everyone has heard me speak about going the wrong way. But let me be clear. The wrong way means the wrong way of doing business. This includes gimmicks, games, and unfulfilled promises. Tactics you will never ever find at Bartow Ford. For over 73 years, we've been doing business the right way. So on your next purchase, don't go the wrong way. Come to Bartow Ford and see why we're different, and we prove it.
Got the free iHeart app? Farrah and Farrah may send your comments lightning fast. Tap the red light, hit send. Injured, make it a Farrah fun. Call Farrah and Farrah now, Tampa.
Luca, Bella, I'm sure you've noticed some changes.
Who are you talking to?
I'm just practicing for when I have to tell the dogs about the twins. You know, because
Be fine in the spacious third row seat. Can sleep peacefully thanks to the rear manual sunshade. Extra cargo space for strollers and dog beds.
I guess you're right.
Can we go to the hospital now? The contractions are getting closer.
The three-row Lexus TX, because everyone should feel like the center of the universe. Experience amazing at your Lexus dealer.
Hey anglers, the best fishing charters in the Bay Area out of Hubbard's Marina on the boardwalk at Johns Pass. Hubbard's Marina has been catching fish since 1928. They offer everything from family-oriented half-day trips to the more advanced overnight trips. Nobody in the business does big group party fishing like Hubbard's Marina. They also have a great tackle store that can provide live bait and tackle to fish from their boats or from Johns Pass Bridge. So for the best cheeseburger on the Gulf, book your trip today at 727-393-1947 or go to hubbardsmarina.com.
The following is a commercial program paid for by Real Animals Fishing. The opinions, viewpoints, and promises made during the following program are not those of WFLA AM, its staff, management, or parent company, iHeartMedia Incorporated.
Welcome to the Bartow Ford Real Animals Radio Show, your weekly voyage into Florida fishing. Presented by Hubbard's Marina, hosted by Captain Mike Anderson and Captain Dylan Hubbard.
Good morning, Tampa Bay. Captain Dylan Hubbard here for the Bartow Ford Real Animals Radio Show. Talking fishing this morning with myself, Captain Dylan Hubbard, and Captain Ray Markham of Backwater Promotions. We are here enjoying this blustery Saturday morning, a little less humid, but very windy. And luckily, it's going to be calming down through the day a little bit today. Definitely tomorrow looking a little better. And then it gets pretty nice through the work week. And we're looking forward to that tide picking up as we move through this work week. We got a quarter moon Monday, but as we approach this upcoming weekend, tide should be picking up as we get closer to that new moon on the backside of next weekend. Potentially a little bit more breezy this upcoming weekend, but this work week coming up is looking good. Backside of a cold front, things should be stabilizing. Hopefully fishing should just get better and better through the work week as we get further from this front and we get closer to that new moon and things start really ramping up for us. This weather update is brought to you by our friends over at Reese Windows and Doors, Florida's leading window and door company with over 50 years in business. They offer free installation on most windows and doors, and they install in just 6 weeks. They only use in-house installers, no freelance contractors, and their work comes with a double lifetime warranty, which means you never pay for a warranty when you sell your home, and that warranty transfers to the new owners, adding value to your home. Visit reesewindows.com for more info. Good to have you this morning, Capt Ray.
Good morning.
Good to be here for sure, and looking forward to picking your brain. For those who aren't familiar with Captain Ray Markham, you're a illustrious outdoor writer. You've been in the industry for a very long time, and you've been all over testing different products, lures, lines, and then you're also a full-time fishing guide who does mostly strictly artificial lures, which is unique.
Mostly strictly, right?
Yeah. Is it strictly? Is it?
Yes.
Okay, strictly artificial.
I mean, I have fished live bait before.
Yeah.
Most of it was pre my 20s and that kind of thing when I was a little kid and throwing a mullet net and all that kind of stuff. But yeah, I used to carry a small little 6-foot bait net on the boat all the time. People are always ragging on me. Oh, I thought you only fished with artificials. I says, yeah, but sometimes you got to mash the hatch, and the only way you can do that is look and see what's in there. So I throw a net, and look at the stuff and throw it out. What are you doing? You throwing that away? Yeah. I was, well, we could fish with that. And, nah, we don't need that.
I got you.
So get away from the crutch and you'll catch fish.
There it is. So definitely interesting style of fishing compared to most. And excited to pick your brain a little bit this morning about what your go-tos are as we move into this cooler weather pattern. We have a lot of fish moving around right now as we transition from those warmer weather patterns to those cooler weather patterns. I would say at this point the transition is fully in progress.
It is on.
Yeah, with this cold front that our first really significant cold front, I would say, that we just had the last 2 days, kind of still moving through. And I think it's got the fish definitely shook up and on the move.
Well, I'll tell you, to me, the precursor of this transition is usually when Spanish mackerel start showing up, because they're catching the first whiff of a cold snap somewhere up in the panhandle, and they're shooting south. They usually make it a little bit before the kingfish do.
Yeah.
And a lot of the big kingfish start showing up on the deep water wrecks out in the Gulf of America. I caught a little bit of slack about that before it was official or totally official.
It's I just say golf, man, because
I know.
You get yelled at either way.
Divisive.
Yeah,
right.
It's no matter what your personal opinion is. I'm just tired of getting yelled at.
Yeah, well, you can find all this stuff I'm talking about. I write for Florida Sportsman Magazine and do the action spotter section for the West Central area, which is where we live here, pretty much from about Hernando or just south of Citrus on down to south end of Sarasota County. And but anyway, I look at like Spanish mackerel as a precursor, but I'll tell you the next thing that's like a huge trigger are snook.
Yeah.
Because as you know, right where you and they stage up on the points, and the new and the full moons have some good moving water, so it's perfect for an ambush predator like a snook.
Yeah.
And so they are like going bonkers right now. See, because when they spawn, they lose a lot of their body fat. And right now they are hell-bent on putting weight on.
Yeah.
And they don't care. Something gets in the way, they're eating it. And
we're seeing it.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
Do you think the snook, there was an interesting conversation, and Mahoney talks about this a lot, the snook transition, do you think it's more water temperature or photo period, like length of day?
I think it's a combination of both.
Yeah.
I mean, to be honest with you.
And a lot of people have said that, like some sort of combo of both.
Well, I look at feeding periods a little differently, I think, than some people. And NOAA used to have a phenomenal online chart that had multiple things on it that were really so important to catching fish and, when fish are actively feeding. And I give you an example, some of the things that were on that chart. There was barometric pressure, wind direction, wind velocity, water temperature, current speed, and of course, it's for whatever location that you're looking at. It could be the Skyway Bridge or something, but they had how many knots the water was moving, air temperature. And I look at a lot of different things because back in the 70s and 80s, I used to race sailboats. And I judged where the wind is going to be coming from. I mean, 10, 20 degree wind shift is going to make a difference between winning or losing a race a lot of times. And you learn to be able to predict the changes ahead of time so that you can be where you want to be on the race course when those changes occur.
Yeah.
And I remember sailing all the way from Apollo Beach, Bahia Beach, all the way across the bay, practically to Pinellas Point, to catch the wind shift in the afternoon on a race. And it had been easterly all day long up until that point. And as soon as I started to feel the tide slowing down, knowing the wind or the tide was going to change, as soon as that change happened, I started looking for the elephants on the horizon. And there's a funny story about that, but I refer to that as offshore. When the wind starts blowing harder, it will start pushing water on the surface, and it will impact the waves and make the waves bigger. When you start seeing those waves humping up, looking like elephants on the horizon, you know what's coming.
Yeah.
It previews a coming attraction, sort of, you know. And so I'm sitting there looking at this stuff and thinking, okay, it's coming. And I'll get upwind of everybody else. They're sitting there ghosting around, you know, and next to no wind. And here I have a wind shift and a change coming in. It's blowing 15 to 20, and I'm doing like 25 miles an hour in my Hobie 16, just hauling buggy across and watching everybody just sit over there. And I'm like, shh. I did a horizon job one time on Hobie Alter and after the race, he came over to look at my boat. He wanted to see, you know, like, what did you do to your boat? And I knew that's what he was thinking, but he was still in there feeling the hull. And, well, do you wet sand your boat? I said, no, not at all. He said, well, the gel coat's kind of thin. I said, that's not my fault. You built a boat. And he says, well, who'd you buy it from? And I told him. He says, well, I'll send you a credit. You can go have your hull re-gel coated. And I said, okay. I just kept the money. But he's feeling around the boat, looking, he couldn't find anything. He says, wait a minute, your jib halyard's not stock. I said, well, I've broken 7 of them, you know, and I asked him what his warranty issues were with it. Well, it's one of our most, you know, costly warranty things. And I said, well, I fixed it. And then I told him, well, I worked as the rigger at Gulf Star Yachts back then, building all the standing and running rigging for the boats, the sailboats and everything. And so I changed the halyard, and I never had a failure after that. That following year, all the new Hobies had my rig on the boat.
There you go. Funny how things work.
Yeah, but getting back to all these changes and everything.
It's more than one variable.
There's at least a dozen different variables.
Yeah.
And some of it can be as much as the kind of clouds that are in the air.
Yeah.
People are always looking down here. They're not looking up there.
100%. And that's what's funny to me, because so often people get hung up on one thing. One of the big things for us offshore-wise is I have people call. It's like, well, what do you think is going to be the best trip? I'm booking a trip for next month, and the moon is doing this, so I'm really confused as to which trip. Should I book Tuesday or should I book Friday? I was like, listen, it's next month. The moon phase,
subject to the weather.
And moon phase is only one variable of I mean, inshore, you have a litany of variables, but then offshore, you add even more with different levels of that tidal flow, and you have
thermoclines,
and it really complicates things. And trying to guess where the weather's going to be more than a 24 or 48 hours out is impossible.
Well, I get guys all the time. It's like, hey, I just moved here from Ohio, and I got a boat. I just kind of want to learn where I can go fish. And I was like, okay. He says, you don't mind if I bring my GPS to you? I says, no, bring it. First thing I ask him when he gets on the boat is, what kind of boat are you running? And I was like, well, tells me the boat. And I said, well, how much water do you draw? And they tell me, and usually it's about at least twice as much as I draw. I draw anywhere from 6 to 8 inches with my action craft. And so anyway, it's like, okay, I know they draw like 14 inches, so I'll take them somewhere depending on the tide. And they don't understand that the water goes like this, up and down all day long. And at the time they're fishing, it might be that much, and they'll be sitting there watching the knees on a heron catching bait next to the boat, you know?
Yeah, exactly.
And so it's all relative. And I had a client that fished me for like 2 years, and then he decided he wanted to buy himself a boat.
There you go.
So he bought himself a Scout, like a 22 foot, something like that. And he didn't tell me what he was going to buy ahead of time, but he has this nice boat.
Yeah, they are nice boats.
He says, well, today I just want to take my boat, because he lived in Terracea.
Yeah.
And I said, I want to follow you. I said, you can't follow me. He said, well, why not? I said, you can't float where I go. The guy that sold me the boat, he said that this will run in next to nothing. I said, okay. So I
Well, we'll find out.
Yeah.
We will be back after this with more from Capt Ray Markham and hopefully hearing from you as well. Remember, you can join the show 1-800-969-9352. Give us a call if you have a question, fishing report, or just want to say hello. Real Animals Radio. We'll be right back.
Ready to skate and wipe out that bill. $1,000 in big, beautiful bills. It's fantastic. Believe me. Listen to News Radio WFLA after the news from 9 to 5. Catch the keyword and those big, beautiful bills.
She gets up inside my boat sometimes to sleep, especially if she knows it's going to rain.
Yeah.
Where it gets really...
That's her hideout?
Yeah, well, I've got 2 covers on my boat. Originally, when I bought the boat, I had one of my clients, he used to make boat covers and things, and he made a custom cover for me. It was made out of canvas, and at the time, it was waterproof, and so anyway, I took this thing and been using it for years, and finally it just started losing his water resistance kind of thing. And so I just went to Harbor Freight and bought one of those big tarps. Or actually, I went to Ollie's because they're cheaper.
Yeah.
But I mean, it's a super heavy duty tarp. So I keep both of them on it. And I couldn't figure out where the cat was going, and it's like she was a stray cat and just wandered in the backyard, and I'd say, "You want something to eat?" Okay. And ever since then, she's been hanging around.
Been your cat
for last year almost. And so anyhow, I'm sitting there one day, and towards the back of the boat, I mean the cover actually goes over the outboard, so there's a space about that much between the transom and that. And all of a sudden, boom! She comes bounding out, kind of like this, like she'd been sleeping, and. So I figured, okay, well, that's where she goes. And like yesterday, I was plugging in the trolling motor batteries. I got a triple bank charger on it, and so I'm not taking the whole covers off. I'm just pulling the thing off, and between the 2 covers like this, there's about this much airspace. But because the sun was shining, it was nice and warm. She was in there, and she like. I freaked her out when I lifted up the tarp. And you're like, oh.
we found your hiding spot.
Yeah. How's the hood over there? I used to live right down the street from you.
In Seminole?
Yeah.
Oh, really?
I built a house over there when they were building the subdivision in 1979.
Oh, yeah?
Yep.
I love it over there.
I had the first house in Pinellas County that got a Energy Saver Award from Florida Power.
Oh, really?
I went in. I was such a pain in the ass to the foreman, the builder foreman. Every day after work, every single day I was in there doing something in the house, and I did a bunch of stuff. I had the owner David K. I had him do some changes on my roof line a little bit to extend the overhang off a little, so I got a little bit more shade protection on the windows and stuff. And I, instead of R19 insulation, I had R40 something put in. I insulated every wall inside and out, so you could shut off rooms. One room would be like a refrigerator, and the other room would be like a sauna. And my electric bills, day in, day out, all the time, were usually around $30. Everybody else was like 80 to 100.
Yeah.
And with the same basic model, but I did everything. I caulked all the joists while it was being built, all the outlets. And I had outlets put in every 6 feet, not every 8 feet per code. And I just did so much different things to the house. And people who own the house, they have no idea what they got.
Yeah.
No idea. That's the house now would sell for, I think the last time I looked on Zillow, it was like $557,000 or something.
Yeah.
Get back. Where's your camera?
We're back, Bartow for Real Animals Radio, talking fishing. Yes, sir. Want to give a shout out to our friends over at Affordable Roofing Systems. Whether you need a shingle, metal, tile, or a flat roof, our friends at Affordable Roofing Systems are your safest choice for repairs or replacements. With over 3 decades of roofing experience, let Affordable Roofing Systems guide you through this important process. They are defined by integrity, respect, and honesty, and they have a professional approach to doing business. Call 888-397-ROOF for your free estimate or visit them online at affordableroofingflorida.com. Great people. They did a great job on my roof, my neighbor's roof, Captain Big Ben Marshall. Really, really, really good people and great work. We got our buddy Donald from Lutz on the line.
I was wondering when everybody wakes up.
Yeah, they're waking up slowly. Let's see if I can find the right mouse here. There we go. All right, Donald from Lutz. How you doing, buddy?
Hey, good morning, captains. Hey, Capt Ray. It's
Donald,
great to
good
see
morning.
you there.
How you doing, buddy?
All right. Hey, I miss our old back club. That was just such a great club. But a couple of years ago, I decided to start a new club, and so it's my wife came up with half the name. I came up with the rest. It's DOSU. It's Donald and whoever shows up.
Classic.
Well, wait a minute. Do you still have the hot dogs and hamburgers and stuff?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Well, where do you meet? They were really good. I mean, I got to say.
Yeah, I've been doing it every month, different locations, just like back. Next week, next Saturday, we're launching from Sutherland Bayou Boat Ramp, right? But we're going to meet up at Pop Stanzel's. We used to launch at Pop Stanzel's, but they put in all those, barricades like they did at Gandy, so you really can't get to the water unless you have wheels or drag it. And I'm just getting too old to drag a kayak. So,
how old are you, Donald?
62. I know I'm a little bit younger.
That old? Wow.
Yeah.
I'm staying out of this one.
But I'm twice as old as Dylan, I think.
Getting there. Not quite.
Yeah. But, so, I've been doing this for 2 years and all different locations all over the place.
That's a great area to fish up there.
Yeah, so we're looking forward to that. And, Pop Stanzel's has the picnic pavilions. But, I've been doing the cheeseburgers and hot dogs, bags of chips, and
that's
everybody,
awesome.
So I continued it, and because I really miss it, because back had joined, with RAC, and that was a whole big mess, and, and then COVID and everything, and so it got killed, and it's like, I just want to get back out there and, and go fishing, with everybody. So it's like, you know what, we're going to start a new
Sometimes you got to do it yourself. And I love the mentality of your organization, Donald, and whoever shows up, because my dad used to say that to me, is if you wait and try to get the perfect day and all your buddies schedule free, you're never going to go fishing. Just pick a day, plan on going, and then go, and whoever shows up with you can go fishing with you. It's a beautiful approach.
Yeah, I've been averaging about 12 to 15 people, so it's always a great time. And I try and pick, Saturdays, with the Soliners and Tides, because I'm a big believer in that. Because I want everybody to go out and catch fish. I'm not going to pick a day that's not good. It's like, oh man, you suck. Why did you pick this day? But so I usually pick days that have good Soliners and good tides. And in fact, for November 8th, I'm going to be doing something very special. That I'm doing a low country boil for everybody.
Ooh.
And
for everybody?
Yeah,
Capt Ray will be there.
Yeah, I'm doing the crab legs, the shrimp, the andouille sausage.
Where do you get your shrimp from? I got to hook up to.
I haven't.
Don's Dock Seafood Market's a great place to get your shrimp. Just throwing that out there.
Well, I'll tell you,
you know somebody.
Or Aldi.
There you go. Well, Donald, we are up against the break, my friend. Always a pleasure to hear from you, and good luck on your November 8th event, and enjoy that country boil.
Yeah, well, that's going to be at Bay Vista Park Saturday at Pop Stanzel's about 1 o'clock. I'm going to be setting up. So if we'll launch it at 7 at Sutherland Bayou. If anybody wants to show up, it's me and whoever shows up. So
what time is it again? You say 7 o'clock? 7 o'clock.
There it is.
Yeah, 7 o'clock. It's Bayou, and I'm going to start cooking at 12:45, about 12:45, 1 till about 3.
All right, brother.
You know.
Thanks, Donald. Appreciate you, man. Hopefully he catches them up, and hopefully we'll hear from you guys on the other side. Remember, 1-800-969-9352 to join the conversation. Real Animals will be right back.
From the local Lexus dealers, WFLA News Desk. This is News Radio, WFLA.
My phone as Mel Berman. It's still on my phone that way. Crazy.
I was looking at my Facebook the other day, and I counted at least 12 people that I know had already died, and they're still on there, you know. And it's like one of my buddies.
I'm 34, and I feel like that all the time when I start scrolling through my phone. You know.
Well,
it's crazy how life goes.
Sometimes you don't want to erase the names or delete the names on there.
Yeah.
I'm just thinking, like one of my buddies, William Tony, who guides out of Homosassa.
Yeah.
He
familiar.
Yeah, he sends me his weekly fishing report. You know, because I got him writing up there for the.
He's a good writer.
Big Bend. He's he's not real well educated, but
my judge of writing is obviously very different than yours.
Well, no. I'm thinking in terms of, okay, how is an editor going to look at it?
Yeah.
Because editors, they got to fix all the shit that you screw up and, you know, grammatically correct and all that kind of stuff and spelling. And I said, William, it's really simple. Use a Word document and you can have a spell check and everything else on there. You can boom, you know, do the subject and predicate, you know, agree, all that kind of stuff. And you go, huh? You know, like, I think
my secret is AI.
Went to high school.
I'll write something very rough, like bullet point, like not even really focus on a good quality written piece, and I'll get the gist down, and then I'll use AI to make it sound good.
So, Mr. iRobot here?
Not. I don't let it write for me, but I let it make it. I let it make it sound well written.
Well, I use Grammarly sometimes.
Grammarly is one. I use Twain. It's called Twain.ao, and it's basically that's what it is. It's a literature,
right?
Large language model.
It's like my phone. This is the
Grammarly is nice though.
What voice to text is the worst freaking thing ever. Misspelled words. You know. The English language.
Mark Hubbard is the king of voice to text, and let me tell you, it kills me.
He must have good diction.
Oh man, he drives me crazy with his voice to text. It's the
oh wait a minute. Oh yeah, that's right. I remember you saying something
cat
about
putter.
That. Yeah, I mean it's like I go back and read some of the stuff that I say to people. I was like, I didn't say that, and there's like THERE, THEIR, THEY''RE.
Yeah.
You know, and you look at guys that are like arguing with somebody on Facebook or something like, well, they're not there. And they got it misspelled both times, you know.
I loved English growing up, and I did a lot of reading, so I
did too.
I have a decent grasp on it. I'm not a master by any means like you are, but it is funny when you see that. It's like your argument has a lot of failure points just because you're not grammatically correct.
Well, yeah, it can be so much like, well, you're just an illiterate, ignorant asshole.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. Van Hubbard's on the line. That'll be a good call.
Cool. I fished with Van before.
Yeah. He's a good one.
Crazy. We fished live bait, but I think I fished with artificials when I went with him too. We got some nice snook.
Yeah.
It's like, this is the first snook that I have actually killed since they went from the 26 to 28 minimum. And what's that been, 20 years or something?
I think so.
A friend of mine, Lynn, she says, I've never had snook before. Okay, well, the next legal one I catch, if it's a small one, I'll get you some. And I sent her a message last night. I said, do you want me to bring you some snook? I don't know. Maybe she's either out or she was asleep, one of the two, and I didn't get a message back. So we're going to that, what used to be Conservative Grounds?
Yeah.
Coffee shop on 66. They've got a new owner. The new owner is not a rhino like the previous owner. Actually, there were two owners. There's John Tatum, who owned...
Yeah, I thought that was us. It's not.
Who owned that Tatum Bait and Tackle on 34th Street South. He sold his interest out. He's up in Georgia, opened another Conservative Grounds, and the other guy, who was the other owner, come to find out he was a rhino. And he was even going to the Democrat meetings, yet he was supposedly supporting Republicans and Trump and everything else, did the Trump rally and all this for the boat parade. And all his thing was about the money. Okay, I'm selling T-shirts. And he probably sold 1,000 T-shirts at making probably, 60% profit on every one of them, or more. Yeah, and so anyway, he lost a lot of friends when he took Anna's picture off there. And he had Trump and, a bunch of the presidents and whatnot, and Anna's picture was up there. And suddenly disappeared. And people were going like, well, where's Anna's picture? Well, I'm a big fan of Anna Polina Luna.
Yeah, she's awesome.
I worked on her
campaign
stuff for both times she's run.
Yeah.
And we're getting ready to fire it up again. So, yeah.
No, we did fundraisers for her the last 2 times she ran as well.
Yeah.
She's always been super helpful to John's Pass tourism. She was there during the hurricane. She was one of the first people to visit. She beat the governor to...
she had me take her out in my boat one time to talk about some stuff. No, this is not Mike Anderson.
Talking fishing this morning. I want to give a shout out to our friends over there at Friendly Fisherman Seafood Restaurant. The Friendly Fisherman Restaurant at John's Pass is back under the management of the Hubbard family. The same family serving up the best fishing and dining experiences in Madeira Beach for nearly a century. Come rediscover the Friendly Fisherman Seafood Restaurant and taste the difference with the freshest seafood, improved menus, and service you've come to expect from the Hubbard family. Enjoy unbeatable waterfront views and a welcoming atmosphere and flavors straight from the Gulf. Locals and visitors, come see what's new today at the Friendly Fisherman Seafood Restaurant. They do have a locals club offering discounts to locals who show their ID and prove they're local to the region. And right now, it is a great time to visit John's Pass because there's just not a lot going on around. So you can find parking easy. You don't have to fight crowds. And it is really easy to park in the pass.
Do you need to get like a second mortgage to park there?
So great question and great point that I was covering next.
I know.
The beautiful thing about John's Pass is there's different areas to park, and you got to know where you're going. So aim for a city lot. That's the economy parking of John's Pass. The city lots are a little bit difficult to delineate, but it's easy. This makes it easy. If it's a paved lot, it's a city lot. If it's not a paved lot, it's a private lot, and you are going to get crucified on parking pricing. So don't park in an unpaved lot. Park in a paved lot or park in the parking garage. The parking garage and the city lots are both economy parking, $4 an hour. So it's not that bad. Not bad at all. I mean, for a tourist area at least. But if you park in one of those unpaved private lots, you're looking at $25 to $35 an hour in the back lot there. It's crazy.
Well, back when Krabby's was open, I didn't realize there were like 2 separate lots, and I parked in one, and I thought, when did they start charging? And I didn't know how much it was. I came back out, and it was like $30 some odd to go in and have a couple of beers and some food. I never did open again today.
Florida parking is just a scar on the face of tourism for the beaches. It is very ugly.
Everywhere
the predatory
like
pricing.
Yeah.
It is very unfortunate the approach they take. And then the ticketing is hilarious. If you're 30 seconds late when your meter's up, they literally sprint to your vehicle and they'll write you a ticket. And sometimes you'll come back and there'll be 2 or 3 tickets on your vehicle. It's like, how is this even legal? It's crazy.
They're bored. Yeah, they need something to do.
Dude, don't get me started.
Did you say Van Hubbard's hanging on here?
Van Hubbard, and now we also have Captain Scott Moore after Captain Van Hubbard. So we are stacked up. All right, let's go to Captain Van Hubbard. What's going on, my friend? How are you?
A little chilly out here this morning. Feels good.
Beautiful, isn't it?
And you're down south.
Yeah. And what are you talking about, 100 years? You've only been at Johns Pass 49 years.
Only been at Johns Pass 49 years, but nearly a century.
I know. I know.
He knows. He's been there.
It says best fishing and dining experiences, so we can credit nearly a century. Come on, man. It's advertising.
Come on, man.
Hey, no problem. You've been in business almost 100 years, no argument. But I'm just joking because I started there the first week y'all were there. I started working for Pop. They were just still building the restaurant.
Yep.
76.
And it's also the fourth generation. I get called out on that sometimes, too, because my grandfather started the business. So technically it's 3 generations, but he went away to World War II, and my great-grandfather took over for a while. So it's 4th generation.
I remember when Wilson Hubbard was on TV.
Yes.
On Channel 13, there were only like 3 channels on TV back then. Everybody had an antenna on the roof. I think it was like Channel 13.
Big 13.
Big 13.
Yeah, it was 13 first.
Roy Lee,
Salty Saul,
Ernie Lee, Salty Saul. Yeah. All the good guys.
Yep.
Classics.
Ernie Lee. Yep. Those were the days. Those were the fishing days too, boys. We had it made.
How's the fishing down by you, Van?
Well, we've had a little wind this week.
A little bit.
Just a little.
I went out last Saturday after we were on the radio here and caught a few pompano, but I haven't found any since. The guys are catching some snook and some few redfish. They're catching some mackerel off the beaches and cooking a few tarpon while they're mackerel fishing.
I've been hearing a lot about tarpon in the past,
some tarpon around.
That's crazy.
And some pretty big ones, not little ones.
It's good to hear. And it's the mackerel fishing is really kicked off. There's some huge bait schools and big mackerel.
Big mackerel up in the bay.
3-4 pounders.
Dude,
big mackerels off the beaches too.
My buddy in Destin, they do a Destin rodeo. It's a month-long fishing tournament up there in Destin. They weighed in a 7.8-pound Spanish mackerel.
Jeez.
I didn't know they got that big.
Wow.
That's approaching 0.
I know.
0 size.
Seriously, a big mackerel.
That's a dandy. That's a dandy.
For sure.
But when they can eat a full-size threadfin, they're a good-sized fish.
Yeah.
They had a lot of mercury.
We used to catch them trolling for kingfish.
Yeah.
They glow in the dark. Eat that one.
Awesome stuff. We appreciate it, Captain Van.
Tell Captain Scott I said hi, and Ray, sorry I missed your birthday this year.
Yeah, that's all right.
Belated happy birthday, old man.
It's just another year.
Absolutely.
Thank you, Van.
We appreciate you, buddy.
Y'all have fun. Bye-bye.
See ya. Always a pleasure to hear from our buddy, Captain Van Hubbard. We got Captain Scott Moore on the line. What's going on, Captain Scott? How are you?
Good morning. Good morning. I guess all these old guys are getting up early.
The legends. What's going on, buddy? How are you?
Oh, my gosh. Everything's good. Ray, this is your favorite time.
Yeah, it is.
That water chilled down a little bit. And
what's your temperature now, Scotty?
Well, it was 82 yesterday.
Wow.
Okay.
It's still up there.
And it's down, and then it gets about 79. But, Ray, when you go out there and there's no water on the flat, and somebody bitches about, I can't catch a fish, I normally tell them, well, then you need to go play golf. Because, those big trout were laying right about 10 yards off the channel. And if you saw a little rip of mullet and you threw a topwater, it was like explosions, and with some snook.
Absolutely. My favorite time of year throwing a top dog, mirror top dog.
Yeah. So wait. Let's slow down here. So low tide, no water on the flat. You're fishing off the You're fishing off the channel. and throwing topwater plugs and mullet.
Right where that rip of mullet is, that's where the fish are laying. And Dylan, once that, listen, it went from almost 100 degrees to 82. They're really as long as it's dropping, it's in that category. You know, it to them, there's a hell of a change. And the big thing is also you can throw in jerk baits. People that like to fish artificials right now it can't get any better. You can catch those mackerel out there with a topwater plug, right, Ray?
Oh yeah, you can catch them on just about anything that moves.
Speaking of mackerel and lures, the gotcha plug has always been a go-to, and it's impossible to get gotcha plugs right now.
No, it isn't.
Any distributor,
shipping or something.
Literally any distributor you call, they're out. Like the classic gotcha plug.
I was just in a place the other day, and I can't remember which one it was. I was in
the Gotcha Pro, the new Pro gotchas, which is just a gotcha.
Not familiar with the Pro.
Yeah, it's literally a gotcha with a little bit fancier look to it, and they've added some colors. It's a little bit thicker of a body. They made it look more like a mirror lure or another typical jerkbait, and they charged twice the price. But the classic gotcha plug, it seemingly is like getting phased out. It's pretty interesting. It's a sad day.
It's different. Yeah.
I haven't really paid much attention to gotcha. I've used them, and occasionally I'll use them. A lot of the guys that fish out on the Skyway Fishing Pier chuck them out there because you can get them, cast a long distance with them.
Yeah.
And they're durable. That's the one main thing.
Durable.
Is it, I abhor fishing lures with treble hooks on it, fishing for mackerel, because the teeth get in the way.
Yeah, we got a windy weekend, people, if you want to fish, the rivers, there has been a little bit of a push in the rivers on the snooks and stuff, but there's still a lot of fish. A lot of the snook, and Ray and I discussed this, a lot of the fish went deep. They went offshore. They went deep. We did not have the fish on the flats, because of that real hot water, and the fish are just starting to move back. As long as there's bait around, they're going to stay out there. You probably see that at John's Pass and all the passes and stuff. If that bait's around, those snook aren't leaving. They're not going.
There's
hanging with the groceries.
There's a ton of bait around the dock in the mornings. It's unbelievable, really. And we still have a number of snook, but I've noticed the numbers of the snook, the concentration overall has thinned out a little bit, and it seems like they're starting to move. The big girls,
they're moving.
They're more teenagers now.
Dylan, a good thing is a lot of the fish are right at 27 and a half.
28. 28.
As far as slot fish, you got to cover some area.
Yeah.
You got to cover some area. If you're out there trying for a legal fish. But
Ray got himself one.
Dave Pomerlu's sending me pictures now.
Yeah, Dave.
Mad snooker.
The Mad Snooker himself is going to be our guest at OCC Roadhouse coming up October 28th, and he's giving away a 4-hour charter, so it's going to be a good event.
Wow.
Yeah, he said they had a really bad night last night. They only got about 50 snook.
Yeah. October 28th from 7 to 9 p.m., so we're super pumped to have him over at OCC Roadhouse with us. I'm sure you'll be there, Capt Ray.
I'm coming.
Yeah, it's going to be a good time.
I'll try to make it. It just depends. It gets a little bit of a haul for me.
You don't need to wear your Depends. Just come the way you are.
Well,
Did you know that I get free Coke when I go there?
I was just about to say he might need to wear Depends
because
only
if Mahoney comes.
Because Mahoney's throwing water at him.
I'm bringing my rain gear. Actually, I could blow the whole place up. I'll bring my gear that I catch my bait with in the morning. They really love me. I'd think the whole place up.
Yeah. That'd be awesome.
Yeah, Mahoney's in there throwing Cokes at Captain Scott Moore, so he's got to be prepared.
I was sitting in the splash zone right next to him. So
you got splashed too?
A little bit.
Friendly fire, huh?
Yeah.
Well, we appreciate you, Captain Scott Moore. Thanks for giving us a shout this morning and the insight there on fishing the edges.
Yeah. Oh, no, that'll help. Hey, by the way, tonight at the center in Anna Maria,
5 o'clock,
we're having a little wake for Jason Stock. Okay, we lost him, and we're doing that at the Anna Maria Center okay, up in Anna Maria. So that'll be, I think it's 7 o'clock. Okay.
Scotty,
I'd love to see everybody come on out.
Can you send me an address on that? We can get that out to guys that want to show up to that.
Yep.
Thank you.
Yep.
Just text me.
We'll
That'd
do
be
that.
great. Thank you.
Good fishing, everybody.
We'll chat with
Dylan, thanks so much, buddy.
Appreciate you, Captain Scott Moore. Thanks for giving us a shout.
You bet.
See you, buddy. The legends. We got Captain Van Hubbard and Captain Scott Moore and Captain Ray in studios. What a lineup this morning.
Dave Pomerleau.
And Captain Dave Pomerleau. He's going to call in.
Oh, I bet he will.
He's probably still putting his boat away from his charter last night.
He's still hosing on.
Hopefully we'll hear from you as well. Remember, 1-800-969-9352 to join the conversation. Real Animals Radio. We'll be right back. Learning how to spell his name finally.
Pomerleau.
Yeah. Obviously, you've learned. Because he's joining us.
I have to spell it right when I write
put
it.
his name in there. Pomerleau.
I thought you were getting bald or something. It looks
That's
like you got
gray spot.
A gray spot.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's like a weird spot, and it looks
That's
balding
that's
on the
a dad
camera.
gray
especially.
spot there.
Yeah. I got gray in my beard now too.
How old are your Rugrats now?
4 and 6.
4 and 6. Jeez. God, I honestly, God, I remember just as clear as a bell, going down to Mary Pier, sitting there with that hoop net, and Captain Wilson coming in there. What you doing there, boy? I'm catching some bait, sir. What you catching? He looking at me. I had some glass minnows in it. You don't need them. And I said, yeah, I know. I dropped a can of Cozy Kitten cat food, back when they used to sell it, and or Puss in Boots, and stick it in there, and I let it sit down there for a couple minutes, and then shake it one time, let the hoop go back down, and let it sit.
Yeah.
He says, you know what you're doing there, boy? I said, just wait. and about 4 or 5 minutes later, you start seeing all these little flashes, white bait and stuff getting in that hoop, and I pull it up, and he says, damn, that's good. And I said, look, I'd fill our bucket, we'd stick it in the boat, put it in a live well. And I said, you want some bait? Well, sure. I guess he was selling bait.
Oh, yeah, he always sold bait.
Yeah, he liked it when I came over there.
That's what I grew up doing, too. Fishing on the dock and catching bait and selling bait.
But we would go, and he wouldn't let anybody else tie up because he knew we were coming back over there. We'd go across the street to the Seahorse restaurant and have breakfast, and then come back, and I'd usually finish for my dad, and I'd lash back over there and get the bait stuff going.
Yeah.
And it's like, what you doing? Occasionally I'd catch some sheep's head or something in it. I said, you want the sheep's head? Sure.
Because he would sell the fish, too.
Yeah, he'd sell anything. He reminded me of, like, he belonged in the circus because he could sell anything.
Well, he was in the circus. That's
No
his
shit.
background, yep.
I'll be damned.
He was a carny.
Hmm.
So I was an Eskimo.
Wow.
One of my favorite stories my dad tells all the time is my Uncle Jeff got in trouble.
Yeah.
And my dad was overhearing, I don't know.
I know Jeff.
Apparently, a guy was trying to give Jeff money so he could book trips out in the future and reserve a specific spot on the boat. And Jeff was like, I don't know if we can do that. I got to talk to my dad.
Yeah.
And so he got back and talked to Wilson about it. And Wilson was like, son, if someone's trying to give you money, you take it and figure out the rest later. It's so funny.
Well, this isn't your spot. Oh.
Like the other day, someone was like, they wanted to buy a gift card for Don's Dock Seafood Market. In the seafood market, we don't have like a gift card system set up. So there's not really a good way to do it. So the staff sent me the phone call of like, hey, this person wants to buy a gift certificate. What should we do? And I was like, take the money. We'll figure it out. We'll figure it out and figure out how to do it on the back end later.
I get people all the time asking about that.
Yeah.
Gift certificates.
We're back. Bartow Ford Real Animals Radio, talking fishing this morning. Myself, Captain Dylan Hubbard, and Captain Ray Markham in studio this morning. Having a good time on this breezy Saturday morning. A little cooler, a little less humid. Got a cold front rolling through here. We're on the very tippy front of a quarter moon coming Monday. And looking forward to finally a little bit of a breather from this wind. We've got about a 5-day stint of some nice weather coming up and looking forward to tackling it. We got a few minutes here, Captain Ray. This week, finally wind dies down. Things have dropped off temperature-wise. What's your plan this week?
Well, it's interesting. This whole last couple of weeks, it's been so windy, but I haven't been out in the boat much to do anything because of that. There's not a lot of places to hide up here. Mm-hmm. Back down in Terracea, there's lots of places you can hide. But anyway, because it has been so breezy and whatnot, the barometer, I've noticed, has been jumping up and down. I mean, it's been going crazy, and that turns fish on. They really have been chewing regardless. I mean, you can't always get to where the fish are because of the conditions, but if you can find places that are holding fish, those fish are eating. And so I'm like the land captain, cruising around like a land crab, fishing, catching some fish, and just seeing what's going on. But coming up, I think you're going to see some slower tides, obviously, with the quarter moon. And what I try and do, and especially if you've got the situation where you can get in a boat, you can fish pinch points, what I call pinch points. It's close areas between two bodies of land where water has to enter or exit.
Because of the quarter moon?
Yes.
Okay.
And what it does, it acts like a funnel, and a funnel just increases the velocity of the flow of the water in that location.
Yep.
So just look for ambush points. And typically what you'll find, you'll find a lot of times you'll find flounder, you'll find snook. Those two are ambush predators, both of them. I don't look at redfish so much as being ambush predators because they pretty much forage for whatever's on the bottom.
Yeah.
They just grub around, and they follow a lot of mullet, primarily not to eat the mullet necessarily, but they do eat a mullet. But the mullet will kick up stuff in the grass when the mullet are in the grass. And whether it's a little pinfish or a shrimp or a tube worm or something else, they're in there feeding on all that kind of stuff. So you look at what is the food source where you're fishing and try and match it to the best you can. For instance, if you're fishing on the flats and you're in fairly open water, I mean, some of the few lures that I've caught sheep's head on are the DOA shrimp.
My favorite.
Just about
lure.
everything eats a shrimp. And the Little John from Mirror Lure. But you can use any kind of jerk bait, basically, that's only 4 inches long, something like that. And they'll eat it because they eat worms. And a lot of marine worms on the flats, and particularly on low tide. I mean, if you ever get out and walk around on the flats, you'll see things squirting up in the air, little holes, and a lot of times it's clams that are down there. But years ago, just off of the Skyway inside Tampa Bay, you had the clam bar, and there were just bazillions of clams. And you could take a wash tub and tie it on a rope behind you, and we would fill a wash tub with a little cherry stone clams and some bigger cohog and whatever.
When you would want to eat clams out of Tampa Bay.
Yeah. Well, they're filter feeders, and they filter so much water. I mean, between oysters and clams, I mean, that's what helps keep the water quality better. And different organizations like 6a-8a, Salt Strong, they're working on programs to help restore some of the oyster beds and seeding with clams. And
one of the things that I don't understand is to build a dock, you have to get all this clearances and this EPA blessing to create a shaded area and kill seagrass. You should be totally mandated. Right now it's illegal. It's impossible to do. I think it should change. Instead of being illegal, it should be a rule that you have to. When you build a seawall and build a dock, you have to put in clam beds. Those clam builders, those oyster reefs, bend thick on the bottom and subsurface. So that way, underneath your dock, you're creating ecosystems to scrub the water and filter the water. It makes no sense because right now, if you did that underneath your dock without permitting, it's technically illegal. Whereas I think we should incentivize it. And also, while we're at it, let's incentivize artificial turf. If you live within a mile of the waterways, let's give you a tax break for putting in artificial turf. We got to go to break, but...
There are reasons for not having that, too.
Yeah.
But they won't do that.
Yeah, I don't know. I think there's reasons to have it, but let's talk more about that on the other side.
You don't want to cut grass.
Or fertilize it.
And fertilize it.
Yeah. Real Animals Radio will be right back. Remember, join the conversation, 1-800-969-9352. We'll be right back after this.
The program was paid for by Real Animals Fishing.
Number one on your car radio preset in the new and improved iHeartRadio app.
Yeah.
I mean,
they sell artificial turf in Sam's Club and Home Depot.
How wide are these things that they put in your yard?
They make different widths. I did it in my backyard for my kids because we have a playground area, and I wanted turf instead of grass because it keeps everything cleaner, and it's safer because you can put padding underneath it. So we did artificial turf, and it was a little expensive, but doing the math, you don't have to water, you don't have to fertilize, you don't have to maintain it. So over the course of your home.
What is it made of? Is
cheaper.
it plastic? Some kind of plastic or something?
There's different kinds. There's higher end ones. There's lower end ones. But
Monsanto.
It's all pervious. It's all pervious. So
it is.
Yes, it's all pervious. And they even make special pet kinds that your dog can pee on.
That was the reason people were giving for not using it was because it screws up the water table.
The city of St. Pete was saying that you can't make your yard. They were actually citing people for putting it in their yard.
That's how we get charged our water bill.
Yeah.
Was how many square feet of non-pervious area that you have, whether it's cement sidewalk.
But this stuff is pervious, and a lot of the newer higher end stuff is really pervious. Like ours in our backyard, I had this special sand put underneath it. That's cooling sand, so it's pervious. The morning dew hits it, and then goes through it and into the sand, and the sand collects the water, and then through the day off gases. So when the heat of the day starts,
so you got a lot of humidity coming off of the grass.
So when you step on it, it's cooler. Because some of the cheap stuff, some of the cheaper stuff.
How much it cost to do your whole yard?
The backyard was about $7,500. But
so your lot totally was what, 75 by 120 or something?
It wasn't a very huge space. I don't remember off the top of my head.
That's what my lot was.
Square footage. But I only did the backyard. I didn't do the front yard. But it's the cheaper stuff. You have to be careful because the sun will hit it, and it's a black mat, so it can get really hot if it's in direct sunlight if you get the cheaper stuff. But if what I'm saying and what I'm suggesting is you give some sort of a tax break, because for me, I did the math, and over 5 years it pays for itself. But 5-7 years,
not having to cut the grass, not having to fertilize or water.
Yeah, maybe over 10 years, if you get the expensive stuff and do your whole lot, it pays for itself. But if we were to give some sort of tax incentive to homeowners, like you get a bigger property tax cut or some other tax cut, then you're incentivizing people who live within distance of the marine ecosystem, whether it's a lake, river, the coastline, a tax break.
What's the name of the company that you went through to?
I wouldn't recommend them.
I was gonna say, hey, I hear another sponsor coming on.
Yeah. Yeah, there's some good artificial turf companies out there. But now we got Captain Justin Moore on the line. He's going to give us the info on.
Do you have a thing that
on my side? Yeah.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
Justin.
Justin's probably going to give us the details on. Jason's thing tonight.
I remember when Justin was first starting to guide. We were fishing Lower Tampa Bay, just off of Rattlesnake Key. Scotty wasn't around. I'm fishing. I had my guys we were on some redfish, pulling redfish, and Justin just kind of blows right by me. And I'm going, I can't believe he came that close to us.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I mean, we're all fishing, and I called Scotty when I got in there. I said, Scotty, I'm not upset about this, 'cause I know Justin's new out here, but just talk to him about how close he should be running his boat by other anglers.
Mm-hmm.
And Justin is awesome.
Yeah.
He's very respectful, super good kid, and he's really learned well.
Yeah, he's a good dude.
Busy guy.
Well, he's been guiding since he was 18. His calendar is sold out a year and a half in advance.
Mm-hmm. Well, Scotty's not really fishing much.
The guy I work out with at the gym, Ed, he fishes exclusively with Justin.
Yeah.
And he books 8-9 trips out for the year, a year and a half in advance.
Well, my screwed up deal was when I first started guiding, I never started out to be a guide.
Mm-hmm.
It was like, you know, I was getting phone calls from people because there was an article in the paper about a fishing lure or something that I was testing for somebody in a manufacturer. And, you know, the guys from magazines and newspapers would call the manufacturers like, what do you got new? I'm doing an article. I need some new stuff. And we'll call this guy. He's been, you know, testing this product. He knows more about it than we do.
Mm-hmm.
And so they'd call me, and my name would get in the magazine or newspaper or something. People would call me, hey, I want to book a trip with you. I said, I'm not a guide.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it's like, oh, okay. And so that went on and on and on and on. And it's one of these manufacturers had a company overseas that wanted to buy the entire line of their product. And he said, they called me and says, we want you to take them fishing. You know more about our line than we do of how to fish it. We'll pay you $1,000 a day to take these guys out. I thought, I can't legally do that. I'm not licensed, I'm not insured or anything else. And, you know, they said, well, we will pay you to get a license. What? So, was it 4 weeks at sea school or something like that? Get a license, and so that's how I got licensed charter fishing.
Mm-hmm.
And people were still calling me, and that's how I got the job over at well, I was already writing for the St. Pete Times. Terry Tomlin was my boss, and I had on my customer list that I had maybe 200-300 guys that when I do a weekly fishing report of my own, I would copy all of them. And so Terry was on there because, you know, I was writing for the magazine or newspaper. And when, I can't remember, I think it was either Blair, no, it wasn't Blair. No, it was Carl Wickstrom called me. Said, hey, we're starting.
Is that Blair's father?
Yeah.
Okay.
He's the one that started the magazine. He says, hey, we're starting a new website, and I was wondering if you'd like to write, you know.
Program paid for by Real Animals Fishing. The opinions, viewpoints, and promises made during the following program are not those of WFLA AM, its staff, management, or parent company, iHeartMedia Incorporated.
Welcome to the Bartow Ford Real Animals Radio Show, your weekly voyage into Florida fishing. Presented by Hubbard's Marina, hosted by Captain Mike Anderson and Captain Dylan Hubbard.
The history of all things fishing. It's interesting stuff. We got more coming up here. We got Captain Justin Moore, speaking of more.
And more.
Yeah. And we've got Captain Mike Perry and Captain Jim Fogel coming up as well. So lots coming up. Don't go anywhere. First things first, we'll get to Captain Justin Moore since he's been holding on the longest. What's going on, Captain Justin? How are you, buddy?
Oh, good morning. Good morning, Ray. I'm getting close, but I think I've known Ray for almost a half a century anyways. We're getting a long time.
He's speechless.
One of my vivid memories. Yeah, one of my Ray's a great person and a hell of a fisherman. I was very fortunate to fish around him in my youth and my early guiding career in Terracea and McGill and everything, and he was always on the fish. But anyway, I wanted to just call and say good morning to everybody, and just remind everybody, my dad spoke a little bit on it. We're having that full send memorial for Captain Jason Stock. That's at the Anna Maria Island Community Center. That's 407 Magnolia Avenue, Anna Maria, 34216 is the physical address, and that is 5 to 8 p.m. I would recommend coming out, at least by 5, because we're going to have some speakers and talks and everything, and we've got food and drinks and some activities for the kids to keep them busy. So come on out. So I just wanted to reiterate on that.
And that was Anna Maria. What was the name of the place?
The Anna Maria Island Community Center.
Okay.
It's in the city of Anna Maria on the north end of Anna Maria. So, and it's a beautiful area. And even if you follow Jason on social media, you want to come out and support it. It's people that have not been up there. It's old Florida. So
Justin,
it'd be a nice drive anyway.
Can you shoot that address one more time?
Yeah, it's the physical address. It's 407 Magnolia Avenue.
Yeah, I remember.
Anna Maria, Florida.
I was out there one time. Jason was having some kind of thing going on. It was pretty cool.
It's a beautiful area.
Yeah, it is. And the center does a lot for the community. Being born and raised there, we played t-ball there, and they still do a lot for the kids and older people too. So anyway, everything is good. Good fishing. Real quick on, you guys had mentioned in the last segment on the mitigation, oyster bar, clams, etc.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of the best fishing in this county, and in particular Sarasota Bay, and they did some in Perico years ago, were mitigation oyster bars. Most guides and general public people fish around them, catch fish around them today. They don't even know that they were artificial. Mm-hmm. They've taken on, they've expanded, and they look completely natural now, and it's a really big deal. It would be great. We need more oyster bars. I don't know why they don't do it with all. I mean, we need to really push for that for sure. And of course, clams are just as important. And Ray was talking about clams on the outside of the bar, especially off of Rattlesnake. There, it was unbelievable. When I was growing up, my aunt and my uncle, which Ray was really close to years ago, they'd go out there and just fill coolers full of sunray clams and all different kinds of clams. It was unbelievable.
There's a guy down in Anna Maria, Ed Chelms. I forget his name exactly off the top of my head, but he was doing something with clams, because one of the things that always interests me is how you can incentivize private business, because if you can incentivize private business, things move quicker and get done, I think, a little bit more efficiently than government, right? And incentivizing private business through aquaculture, because raising clams, raising oysters, and allowing aquaculture, you're incentivizing private business to get into that conservation space. And
you're right, though. One of the
so
guys
beneficial.
that the residents of Terracea Island, he had the clam leases out in Joe Bay, and then I think he had
Joe Island.
Joe Island, just on the north side.
We still buy clams from them for our seafood market.
Oh yeah,
Joe Island clams.
Yeah, there's quite a few restaurants down there that get it too.
Yeah. And it's a bustling area, and I think if we incentivize more of that aquaculture, you're creating that, because even aquaculture leases, they have shedding, and you start to create natural reefs as a byproduct of those aquaculture areas.
I know one of the places they set up a clam lease is right in a hole that I used to catch monster trout in, and it really racked me off because they kind of fenced it all off, and I couldn't get into it. So.
You do have that. Unfortunately, it does take area, so there is that stakeholder conflict. But I think for the long-term life and health and benefit of our estuaries, I think it's beneficial. It's interesting, though. What's your take, Justin?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, no, absolutely. I agree. I mean, and even the places where Ray's talking about, I'm very familiar with them. It actually has created habitat on the bottom, and you can fish around those areas. You just have to be careful anchoring. And, of course, if they're in there with their dive flags, you got to stay clear of them. But those guys have been great. You know what I mean? And you can never have enough habitat. And with all the habitat loss, it only makes sense. And with all the, those oysters, the oysters that they get from the restaurants, all that calcium deposit goes on the bottom, and everything, the little baby's attached to it, and it's really impressive. Really, if I took you and showed you some of these oyster bars, you would never even guess in a million years that they were not natural at one time. You know what I mean? And why? Especially right now with, it's one thing, you want to take those oysters and dump them on top of seagrass because, then you kill the seagrass underneath them. But right now, while we have the seagrass loss in areas where there's a lot of sand down these shorelines, that's the time to go in there and deposit a bunch of oyster shells and let it naturally grow. But, there's a process like everything else. It takes a long time to get the permitting and everything, but you can get a permit to rip mangroves out and put a dock in pretty fast from the state. That doesn't take any time. But I don't want to, anyway, I'm just saying.
But I digress. Yeah, I agree.
But I feel like we're going the right direction in some ways. We're trying in Manatee County here, we're really dealing with a problem with boats being anchored up on the shallow grass, and then those boats stay there and they're abandoned. And then, we all know what happens when you put plywood on your grass and let it sit for months in your yard. When you take it off, it doesn't look very good. So, but, there's always going to be those fights. I feel like, Tampa Bay waterkeepers, Sarasota Bay waterkeepers, CCA Salt Strong, there's enough local organizations. I think everyone's going the right direction.
Yeah. Just got to keep the pressure up.
People need to be educated and belong to those organizations and, do what they can. And, everybody just does a little something and it adds up in the end. But anyway, I just want to say hi to Ray and Dylan and good fishing to everybody. And
good hearing from you,
talking about water movement. Yeah, when you're talking about water movement and gaps and passes and points, Ray's absolutely right. And especially, say you have an east wind on an incoming tide, and you might have a bay where there's wind against tide, and especially on a slower, quarter moon or whatever it may be, you don't have as much water movement. Well, maybe just think, if I go around the corner and the wind's blowing with the tide around the other side of the island or another area, it may not be that far away. It can make a huge difference where the water's working with the wind as far and not against it. So little things like that for an angler make a huge difference in getting bites and how productive you can be, in that amount of time that you're on the water. Just go fishing when you can, even when it's a full moon or, even if it's a slow moving tide in the day. People should always go fishing when they get a chance, because fishing as much as I do, and other guides will agree with this too, and general public people, some of your best fishing days can be on slower tides because you might have an exception of a strong wind direction where it might actually blow a little water out or in an area that it normally doesn't work. So just go when you can, and that's the only way you can learn.
It's always a learning experience.
Use the geography to your advantage, is what I'm hearing.
Well, here's one little tip that I find, and the most useful instrument I have on my boat in the winter or the summer is the thermometer. No, the water temperature.
Yeah.
I mean, I can find a 10-degree variance in water temperature in the wintertime and sometimes even the summer.
And that's all that matters.
And it's totally important sometimes when all the other factors are kind of a nil thing, hardly any water movement or anything else. Water temperature might be the one thing
that'll make them bite,
that triggers these fish, because temperature of all these fish are cold-blooded, and whatever the water temperature is, that is what their system is going to be gauging to. And it increases the metabolism when the water temperature rises. Okay, and once that starts happening, they burn whatever food they have in them or fat that they have in them, and it triggers a response to feed again. So
there it is. We appreciate it, Captain Justin.
And they have to eat. The fish, they have to eat. Ray's right. So don't, that's some of you can have really good fishing on colder days if you just, play your cards right. But, hey, the biggest difference between me and you, Ray, I don't need a thermometer because my hands are always in my live bait well. You're keeping your hands nice and pretty.
Mine are always in the fish's mouth when I'm releasing them.
Yep, keeping them nice and dry. Yeah, exactly. Buddy. So, all right, tight lines, man. Thank you. Good
Thank you.
I might see you out there tonight.
Awesome stuff.
Take care, Justin.
Good dude, for sure.
Awesome.
We got Captain Mike Perry coming up on the other side. We've got Captain Jim Fogel and then Captain Dave Pomerlew as well, the Mad Snooker.
Are we going to hear from Fantasy Fest friends?
I think so. I don't know. We're going to get an update.
It's coming up, I think. All right, Lord.
Stay tuned for more Real Animals Radio. We'll be right back.
100 years of news and talk.
It is day 84 of testimony in the OJ's.
And one time I was comped a stay at this kind of a neat, really, really old hotel there, and took my girlfriend with me. I guess it was so old that some of the walls were real thin, and this place. I mean, what was really cool is that they'd have a big spread of food out every day, morning, noon, and night, and everything else, and come down there to get something to eat. Are you all the ones that are in room 2? Yeah, how you know? Well, we could hear you. Well, I can't secure the headboard. It's not my job, Yeah, but anyway, it was just funny. But the guy who was I don't know what they call him, like the king or queen maybe, of this, who's it? Rick Gross is sending me shit now. So, Rick, you got more pictures? I'm gonna ask the guy, Rick. Super nice guy.
Rick is the man.
But I mean, he's another one. I mean, he's been fishing for 40 years or so, running charters, and he hasn't been that busy. And
that's what Guide Checker's all about, man. Yeah. Bringing people like him more business. Yeah. Because we got to get the real, true blue guides better visibility. Elevate those guys over the rest.
Now, I can't do it on the phone, I don't think, but on my computer, you can see everything about that picture that people don't realize. I mean, you probably know. You can even probably find the GPS coordinates of where a picture was taken. You can tell what kind of camera, what brand, what focal length, the speed of the shutter, every other damn thing. And that's how I weeded out guys when I first started writing for Florida Sportsman. Guys, I had people, because I was doing a radio show, and they could hear us in Mobile, Alabama, and the Keys from that station that we were broadcasting out of, because I would get emails and stuff from people from up there. And of course, we did a Mobile show for quite a while. We never did a Keys, but we did Fort Myers and Lauderdale and Miami and Orlando and Jacksonville.
Oh, trust me, I was at all of them.
Fort Walton, I know you were. Yeah, I remember that little hut, the little tin hut.
Yeah.
Yeah, but God, it was
the tin hut and then the grouper booth. I grew up going to Florida Sportsman shows.
And you were fighting in the chair. That was kind of cool.
And listening to you and Mark Nichols talk about DOA lures.
Mark's a piece of work. I need to call him again.
Every time I see him, it always brings back good memories.
Yeah, well, Mark was a good fisherman. He still is. He's looking a little long in the tooth, though, aren't we?
I saw him at ICAST. We chatted for a while. He seemed good.
Yeah. Yep, still hanging in there. Yeah, he called me about 3 weeks ago. I need to call him again. He's like, when are you coming over to fish? It's like, my freaking house. Yeah, I swear to God. My mom, when she passed away, she left the house to my brother and me. And at the time, I was renting a house down in Terracea, married to this girl, Becca. We were married for maybe 6 months, and she found out that her mom had colon cancer, and they gave her 2 months to live. And she called me from her work to tell me that she was getting on a plane and taking off to go to California to take care of her mom. And I'm thinking, well, 2 months, I'm on my own, And we'd only been married like 6 months. Well, 3.5 years later, she was still out there, and her mom was still alive. And I said, look, I didn't get married to be single, because I said, we need to bring her here. I mean, they got good doctors here. They got Shands Teaching Hospital. They got Moffitt. They got, cancer hospitals that are as good as any place in the country. But her mom, absolutely not. Her mom was an editor for the San Diego Reader, which was one of the largest, magazine and newspaper, whatever the hell it is, out in California. And I'm not going anywhere. I'm staying here. All right. And so it got to the point where I gave my wife an ultimatum. Okay, either you come back here or I'm going somewhere.
We're back, Bartow Ford Real Animals Radio, talking fishing this morning. Want to give a shout out to our friends over at Affordable Roofing Systems. Whether you need a shingle, metal, tile, or a flat roof, our friends at Affordable Roofing Systems are your safest choice for repairs or replacements. With over 3 decades of roofing experience, let Affordable Roofing Systems guide you through this important process. They are defined by integrity, respect, and honesty, and they have a professional approach to doing business. Call 888-397-ROOF for your free estimate, or visit them online at affordableroofingflorida.com. With that, we got Captain Mike Perry on the line from Big Pine Key, and then after him, we're going to get to Captain Jim Fogel. What's going on, Captain Mike? How are you, buddy?
Hey, Dylan. Hey, Ray. How you both doing this morning?
Good morning, everyone.
Another day in paradise, buddy. How are you?
That's right. Same thing. And Ray, yeah, Fantasy Fest is coming up. I get out of here. I rent the house out. I've had this group who has rented my house back years ago and keep renting it. And I get out, and every hotel room, every Airbnb home that's open from Key West even all the way up to Homestead for 12 days is fully booked. I mean, the islands sink.
Are you the king this year?
No, I'm not the king there. I feel like Mahoney's on the show.
How's the fishing going, Mike?
Fishing's great. We're coming up on it's prime sailfish time of year.
Yes, sir.
You can tell. You just have to look at the tournament list from about 2 weeks from now all the way through March, beginning of March. It's all sailfish tournaments. Nice. I'm actually fishing in 2. I'm fishing in the big one, the Almirada International Sailfish Tournament. Got awesome. An invite into it and got a crew put together. You can either donate your time as a captain, or you can put your own crew together, and that's what we're doing. And then got another big one in January. So the fishing's been great. We are catching some sailfish. They're all in the 40 to 60 pound range. What I've been doing has been trolling them up with the ballyhoo on the feather lures, and when we find them, we have the assortment in the tank, and we throw goggle eyes, we throw ballyhoo, live ballyhoo, and it's just a really great way to catch sailfish. Is you try and locate a few by trolling, and then you just set up, drop that power pole move on the contender into the water, and just work that area and try to get a few. And it's a really good time. The snapper fishing, Dylan, has been good. This is the time of the year for people who don't have a boat or don't have the funds to hire a charter captain. The bridge snapper fishing for muttons and mangoes is crazy good right now. And we're talking non-measurable fish. You can look at them and know they can go in the cooler if you want to keep them.
Wow.
So the fish has been really, really good. And, Ray, I just wanted to comment for anybody who's listening to the show. If you've picked up a Florida Sportsman over the last many, many, many years and read the locator section that talks about each region of Florida, Ray Markham has been telling us what's catching, how they're catching them, what they're catching them on, and for years. So if you've picked up a Florida Sportsman and read that section, you've read what Ray Markham writes. And everybody in Bradenton, Florida, where I grew up, knows the name Ray Markham. So
that's scary.
And that you do it with artificial
I think there's
bait.
a couple policemen that know me too, but that was another story back when the patio was still open.
Oh, the patio! My family, my parents used to hang out the patio. So
I'm sorry,
but anyway, I just wanted to call, give a report.
Appreciate you, man.
To Ray, that keep doing it.
Thank you, Captain Mike. We appreciate it, buddy. Always good to hear from you. We've got Captain Jim Fogel on the line as well for our Visit St. Pete Clearwater Safe Boating Tip of the Week. Appreciate him hanging on this morning. Our caller list has just been
Semi-legal advice
flooded.
coming in. I can hear it now.
Yeah. It's been a busy morning with callers, so I appreciate you guys hanging on. We got Captain Jim Fogel and Captain Dave Pomerleau coming up, and hopefully we'll hear from you as well. We'll remember 1-800-969-9352. Real Animals Radio. We'll be right back.
From the local Lexus dealers, WFLA News Desk. This is News Radio.
Boom. Wow. Show is flying by this morning.
Yeah.
A lot of callers.
God.
Captain Jim's holding on. Thank goodness.
28 years. Can't believe it's been 28 years I've been right for this thing.
28 years?
Yeah.
And you started when the magazine started.
No, the magazine started in '69.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I think I still have the original magazines from '69. I saved them for years, and down in Terracea, my house got flooded 8 times in the 21 years I lived there, and
wow.
I had 2 bedrooms. They were 9 by 9. The shower stall in the bathroom was smaller than a payphone booth, if you can imagine. It wasn't big enough to be able to bend over and pick the soap up if you dropped it. I had one of those things, the long handle deal the old farts used to pick up my socks, you know.
That's crazy.
And so, but anyway, I used to go to Publix and get banana boxes and put a bunch of shit that I had to store in the back bedroom, and I had a floor to ceiling until the first flood. The first flood came in, and all the stuff got wet on the bottom, and everything was like collapsing. And some of the stuff got ruined. Some of the magazines that were in some of those boxes I ended up having to throw away. But I used to keep logs. I had written logs, and I had logs for 40 some odd years. Wow. Of all the shit that I used to do, and it's like, dude, listen to all this stuff.
When you say written logs, you're talking about fishing logs.
Yes.
Yeah.
I had instruments that, oxygen sensors and things that you could tell the dissolved oxygen content in the water, and you could measure the difference between water temperature and where, because you just know, and if you don't know when you're fishing shallow water, and water temperature's 93 degrees, and there's no freaking oxygen here. Well, I might find tarpon here, but I'm not gonna find anything else that wants to live. So
that's crazy.
It's just stuff people don't think about, and it's.
How do you get a dissolved oxygen monitor?
I can't remember the name of the little gizmo that I used to use. I somehow lost that in one of. I think it was one of those days when the mullet were jumping out in the street. There was about a foot of water in the road out in front of the house.
That's not good.
One time, no, it wasn't good at all. And I sat there with a shop vac for hours trying to keep it from coming in. I built a dam in the front, and it kept it from coming in the front door, but it came underneath the garage door and in through the, I guess you would call it a laundry room. There used to be commercial fishermen or drug runners that would rent this place, and the owner of the house told me, he says, you've been here so long. It's like, I never had anybody in here that actually would pay me or pay me on time. I mean, it's like, I'm glad you're never late on your, all that kind of stuff. But these commercial guys, they painted the floor with bottom paint. They had, it has arsenic and copper and all kinds of crap in it to kill, growth, marine growth. But I had all these cats, and I kept wondering, why are all these cats dying? Normally my cats would live to about 20, 22, something like that. But these cats were dying like 8 years old, 6 years old, 10 years old. And then I realized, a cat box was in the laundry room, and the cats would go in there and they walk in and out. And of course, as you're walking through, your shoes are
on the ground.
Their shoes are kind of kicking up some of the paint and stuff, and probably making some dust. And of course, it's on their paws and they're licking shit. Probably that's what did it. And it kills me because my favorite cat in the whole world, which was a Maine Coon, unbelievable cat, huge cat. I trained that cat to do so many freaking tricks. I mean, literally, I could get him to stand up on his hind legs, walk across the room, turn around, and come back. He'd shake your hands, right paw, left paw. You know, he'd know which paw.
That's crazy.
Yeah. But when I came home one day, and there was a 7-pound bag of dry cat food that I put up in the top cabinet so they couldn't get to it. I came home, cabinet was open, bag was open on the floor, and here's 2 cats laying in the middle of this stuff, and most of it was gone. Mrs. Raisin, who was a real porker, I mean, I had this 3.5 pound gravity feeding dry cat food feeder. She would get there and just park and put her face in it. She would eat and eat and eat till she fall asleep. And I'd come home a lot of times. Here she is, her face in the food, passed out. She looked like a little butterball. She was crazy. As fat as she was long.
That's crazy.
I used to call them portable fish disposal units.
Ford Real Animals Radio Show, presented by Hubbard's Marina. Now your captains, Mike Anderson and Dylan Hubbard.
We're back, Bartow Ford Real Animals, talking fishing. Myself, Captain Dylan Hubbard, and Captain Ray Markham in studio this morning. Jumping right to our buddy, Captain Jim Fogle, with our safe boating tip of the week, brought to you by Visit St. Pete Clearwater. Captain Jim, appreciate you holding on, my friend. Sorry about that.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yeah, I got a good man in there this morning. I'd like to read his article.
Good morning, Jim.
Good morning, Ray. Good to hear from you.
What you got?
We try and keep up.
Got a couple things. Go ahead, sir.
I said we try and keep up with y'all out there on the water.
Yeah, you do.
Listen to all the reports.
Cool. Hey, a couple of weeks ago, just off of Grassy Key, off of Keaton Beach, a young lady was scalloping in about 5 feet when she got attacked by a shark.
Ooh.
She remembered what she had read or seen on Animal Planet
Punch him in the nose.
Attempted to, but where he had her, I guess behind her or behind her leg, I mean, she couldn't really get to it. So her brother, luckily, a firefighter and an EMT in Taylor County, jumped out of the boat and repeatedly punched and kicked the shark until it released her.
Whoa.
Then he got her in a boat, and they got her airlifted to Tallahassee, and she was in critical condition, but supposedly her spirits are good, and her friends are saying she's going to come around. So that's a great good.
I'd love to hear her story in about 10 years.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, see what that sounds like.
Yeah, that would be.
It get better. She's like a fisherman. It'll get bigger and better every time.
The brother. That's quite the story
Awesome.
there, too.
Yeah. Yes. Yeah, I hope he gets a good award for that. That's an outstanding effort. This next one's not quite as nice there. On October 4th, a court in Leesburg, Georgia, convicted a man that was 22-year-old man that was operating a nitro bass boat at approximately 67 miles per hour when it struck a center console during the second day of an invitational fishing tournament.
Wow.
The impact resulted in the deaths of 2 gentlemen. 2 others had to go to the hospital, and the driver of the nitro also was in the hospital.
Wow.
Not good.
The district attorney's office has indicted him for 3 counts of manslaughter and 2 counts of assault.
Wow.
Also, reckless operation of a vessel, failure to follow boating regs, and not having a boater safety certificate. I know that none of our people would do that, none of our listeners, but just beware, guys. That's just too damn fast, you know? I mean, there's hardly any time that we should be operating a boat that fast.
I can say from
time.
Jim, I can say from fishing with some of the bass guides on Okeechobee that 70 miles an hour is a starting point for a lot of them.
Yeah.
In their tournaments, when they're trying to get from point A to point B, and they might want to fish 20 or 30 miles from the start, And it honest to God, it's like a race course, and it's dangerous. You better know what you're doing when you're running like that, and you better have all the safety gear with you because you might need it.
The water is very, very, very hard when you fall off going 70 miles an hour.
Yes,
Trust me.
Yeah, I've fallen off of skis at about 35 or 40, and that's bad enough, you know.
Yeah, I'm
landing on concrete.
I'm here today because of life jacket design. I fell off a jet ski going over 70 and woke up, luckily face up in the water, floating on a life jacket. Thankfully, I was following the rules and had the right stuff on, because that stuff is it's dangerous when you hit the water going that fast. When you hit the water, let alone hitting another boat. I mean, obviously, it's over at that point.
No. I have a nephew that has a bass boat. I don't remember what kind, but you know, he wears a Kevlar jacket and life jacket all the time, and goggles, and hopefully a helmet. I doubt it, but that would be a good thing.
Wait, you're wearing Kevlar, a life jacket, and goggles?
That's in case he gets shot at. You never know.
These bass
Mahoney's around the corner.
Yeah,
you know,
these are getting crazy.
Yeah, but the Kevlar would help your ribs and your heart if you bounced out of that boat. You know.
Oh, I should.
Sweet baby, Jesus, this is it's a whole different level.
Serious stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I'm going to stick to offshore fishing at 9 knots.
Yeah, we'll just keep it down.
Yep.
I mean, I understand what you said, Ray, and I've seen it before, and I think it's crazy, but that's the way they like to do it. But this is one of those times where it just didn't work out.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
It is, and we have that problem. So please, people, if you're going to speed, pay attention.
So you're telling people don't go out and buy a Freeman now, right? I don't know. I'm driving around Sarasota sometimes. I see a boat and the trandom's got like, 6 400 horse or 450 Mercs.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Yeah, boy.
We appreciate it, Captain Jim. Thank you.
All right, guys. Thanks a lot for the time. For the Coast Guard Auxiliary and St. Pete, Jim Fogel, be safe out there.
Appreciate you, buddy. Visit St. Pete Clearwater Safe Boating Tip of the Week, brought to you by our friend Captain Jim Fogel. We've got Captain Dave Pomerleau on the line, the Mad Snooker. Looking forward to joining you October 28th from 7 to 9 p.m. over there at OCC Roadhouse. Going to be a good time for sure.
Slow night.
Good morning, gentlemen. I'm
Morning.
telling you, the caliber of callers you've had this morning, and then I call.
Nuts.
We've
got Captain Lisa Fitzgerald on the other side as well. So, I mean, we're stacked up. Mm-hmm.
You have all these legends calling in, and then you get the crazy snooker, and I ruined it. I've been out all night. I literally ran a double last night, and just got home. I just literally.
How do you do a double in a night? I mean, when do you start? Like sundown?
I did an 8 p.m. to 12 p.m. Then I did a 12 p.m. to like 5 a.m. I gave the guy an extra hour because he's a heck of a tipper. And we ended up.
Wait a minute, hold on. You got to put this out for everybody listening. If you want an extra hour, you got to be a heavy tipper.
And also,
you don't got to be a heavy tipper, but he is a heavy. He's a good guy. But we caught like probably 35 snook on the first leg, and then maybe 40 snook on the second leg, and then we had a blast. And we had a couple of really big ones, but the wind was a pain in the neck.
I'm still at a loss for words. You started a charter at midnight. I just want to reiterate that one.
We started a charter at 8 p.m. to midnight. Then I did like 12:15 to about 5:15 in the morning.
Amazing.
Just got home. Literally just got home.
Okay.
Yeah, no problem.
I feel like I want to throw up.
When you live the hours I live, because I wake up at 4 in the afternoon.
That's crazy.
Yeah, it was good. I mean, Scott Moore, Van Hubbard. I mean, Justin. It's just like what a high. It would be great is to get together with like Scott Moore and Van Hubbard and do like a big Ray Markham and big seminar all together.
You know what we were talking about last week at Captain Dave Pomerleau is after the show, Mike was talking about doing a real animal show on the party boat. And I was like, no. Let's change this up. Let's have like a get together like Captain Rick Gross. He did our 39-hour trip. Do a party boat fishing trip, like a 39-hour hopefully, and try to get everybody out there. Ray, would you be in?
That would be brutal. Yes, I'd be in.
He's signing up. Captain Dave, would you be in?
39 hours.
Yes.
Well, God,
we
did
got
that one time.
Think about Florida sportsmen back in the day. All of us would get together. We'd have the Florida Guides Association meetings. All the guides in one room. It's always nice getting together.
All the lies are going to be dispelled.
Take all of us, put us on a boat, and take us 70 to 100 miles offshore for 39 hours straight. I think it would be awesome, and it'd make great TV.
I'm used to being off the water after 12 hours.
That's why we're trapping you on a boat. It's beautiful.
But there is a saving grace. The food is phenomenal.
Exactly.
When I lose sight of land, I'm sick. Instantly.
They make Dramamine for that.
We'll hook you up with one of those patches.
We'll get you an IV.
Have to take a lot, and I'd have to take a lot of Dramamine on that one. But yeah,
Let's do it.
It was great. I mean, like I said, Ray, I've been reading your stuff in Florida Sportsman for years, and my old running gag about the Florida Sportsman is, well, it's not true, but I always think I keep getting richer, but I can't get my picture on the cover of the Florida Sportsman. My dream is to get my ugly mug on the cover of the Florida Sportsman. What's that?
Put that to music, and you got something there.
I'll tell you. Well, you know what I mean. The cover of the Rolling Stone.
On the cover of the Rolling Stone. Rolling
exactly.
Stone. Yeah.
I always said on the cover of the Florida Sportsman, which is for like 35 years, it's been my dream to put my ugly mug on that cover.
What'd you do in the rest of the time? I mean, I started in 1969.
Well, you know, I didn't start really fishing hardcore snook until 1972.
Oh, okay.
So, 72 is when I got my start. But yeah,
I think I quit fishing for a while then because of the water quality got so screwed up. And they did all the dredging and filling in the 60s back then. Yeah.
Before I'm gone, maybe you can pull some strings over there. We can get my ugly mug with a big snook on the cover of that magazine, and I'd like to. You know,
send me pictures.
I got to get you good pictures.
I'm just over here like a fly on the wall for this conversation, and I just want to point out that Captain Ray said back in the 60s when the water quality went to hell because of the dredging and filling. So fast forward to 2025 when we're complaining about water quality issues.
Yeah, but now instead of just dredging and filling, it's dumping and
sewage,
raw sewage. I mean,
crazy.
You don't want to eat the floaters. No.
Appreciate you, Captain Dave Pomerleau. Thank you for calling in, my buddy.
Yeah, thank you. Great show.
You are the man, Dave.
Yes, sir. Looking forward to seeing him October 28th, 7 to 9 p.m. at OCC Roadhouse. We've got the Hall of Famer herself, Captain Lisa Fitzgerald, on the line. What's going on, Captain Lisa?
Oh, my.
Well, good morning, gentlemen. Gosh, I didn't know you had the legend Ray Markham on the show, too.
Oh, come on.
We are just stacked up, covered up this morning. We're very blessed.
Yes. Well, I want to thank you, Dylan, for helping Mike and myself put together that wonderful package for the CCA Florida Star Competition
No problem.
Award ceremony.
Yeah, my pleasure.
The Bilmar. What a gorgeous place. And then Captain Mike is donating a half-day trip. I mean, holy cow, that's going to be a great opportunity for someone. We have next Saturday over in Cocoa, the award ceremony, going to be awarding close to $500,000 in prizes. But the coolest aspect of that is actually awarding that $100,000 in college scholarships in the Guy Harvey Foundation Youth Scholarship Division.
That's awesome. It's definitely going to be a good event for sure. And that's over in Cocoa Beach, right?
Yeah, it's in Cocoa Beach at the Space Coast Convention Center. Beautiful place. We have a wonderful dinner, great auction, live auction, silent auction, great food, entertainment, open bar, $75 for the ticket. That's not bad with open bar, and chicken marsala for dinner. Ray, are you joining us?
I doubt it. Unless I go over to stay at Mark Nichols' house, I probably won't.
Well, I tell you, you and Mark should come to the event. It's going to be a fun time.
What's the date again?
It's October the 18th. It's next Saturday.
Coming up fast.
Great. Coming up fast. But I just wanted to give Bill Maher a huge shout out. and Captain Mike, because they're both donating, a trip. And it really means a lot to the organization and to myself in general, because this is how we raise our money in order to fund these youth scholarships. In the 11 years that we've been doing this competition, it's over $1,100,000 in college scholarships. And this is just kids catching fish.
That's awesome. I've got a question for you. We're up against the break, but I got a question for you. We just brought up this idea of sticking everybody on a 39-hour trip and taking everybody out there, all the guides. You're in.
There.
Captain Jeff Page just chimed in, too. He's in.
Now. Oh, my gosh.
So, Ray, you're getting locked up. This is real.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, have a girl show me up now.
Captain Lisa will show us all up.
Get me a bucket.
I have fished with you before. I know how you are.
Yes.
Get you a bucket for what?
For all the fish she's about to catch.
Oh, I thought
the crew won't be able to keep up.
They have like portlet kind of things on the boat.
Bucket around my neck.
Oh, there it is.
Bucket around my neck so I can fish and throw up at the same time.
Oh, God.
Well, I don't believe it.
No chumming.
I don't believe it.
That's why
Dylan said no chumming.
I have the bucket.
Yeah,
That's why I have the bucket.
We'll have the 3-course country breakfast. We'll be eating good and catching fish. It'll be a good time. Can't beat it.
I'm in, so let's do it.
All right, Captain Lisa, we appreciate you calling.
Gosh.
Thank you.
Thank you, and we'll see you guys soon.
See you later.
See you, Lisa.
Always a pleasure. Hopefully, you are enjoying the show. We got another segment coming up. Don't go anywhere. Real Animals Radio. We will be right back.
If you want your windows there in weeks, pick up the phone and just search Reese.
Protect your home now with factory direct.
Well, keep in mind we're live, so whatever
never mind.
story you're about to tell.
No. She invited me to fish a tarpon tournament with a bunch of girls one time.
Yeah.
Well, never mind. I'll talk to
The 6a-8a Star Tournament is the same day as my outing. Yeah, Donald, I don't know. Star Tournament and the Bilmar Beach Resort is giving away a hotel stay with Captain Mike's charter. So
cool. That's right across from Ricky T's and stuff, isn't it?
And they've got a tiki bar out back of the Bilmar too, and they got Sloppy Joe's.
Isn't that Sloppy Joe's? Yeah. 18th. God, I got something on the calendar. That's right. I marked Fantasy Fest that week. That starts next weekend.
That's where Capt Ray's going to be.
No. No. Actually, the guy that was running that hotel, he was the king of that Fantasy Fest thing that week. It was really interesting.
I believe it.
Come on down. We'll hook you up with a place to stay.
Yeah, I think we'll do a guide checker, 39-hour adventure, Real Animals fishing show, Florida Sportsman reunion.
This is sounding
party.
Really scary to me.
I'm pumped. That'd be so cool to get everybody together like that. Even if we don't fish,
will you bait
just
my
sitting
hook?
around and talking, that'd be cool.
I might be the guy borrowing somebody's jig.
Imagine if we got people like that, the Captain Lisas, the Captain Jeff Pages, the Captain Rays, the Captain Rick Grosses, the Captain Scott Moores.
You could have like 800 years of
of fishing experience.
God.
I have 50 captains. That would be
scary. And everybody's up in the wheelhouse. Hey, Corinne, see that break over there? Go over there.
Yeah, that'd be awesome.
Let's see, who was it? Garrett? I think Garrett was running a boat when I went out that one time with that Fat Cat deal.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, cool guy, nice guy.
Yeah, Garrett's awesome. That would be fun.
But really, the food was good.
The food is really good.
Yeah.
Best food for miles.
Was it? Yeah, for sure. Now, was it the Friendly Fisherman? Oh, what? WFLA. Was it WFLA? No, it was Tyrone Square Mazda did a thing when we went out there. I was talking to Dave Fogelgarn or Fogelstein or whatever it is, and I said, we need to go fishing. And that's how he was like, oh, I got to talk to those guys at Hubbard's Marina. And so that's how it went out. And I think I still have a picture of a couple of guys puking over the side. That day was absolutely horrid. It was howling.
Fat Cat used to do the trips a lot.
We had to go hide behind Egmont because the wind was blowing so hard. We never got any further than that.
Wow.
And I'm surprised we went out at all because they were like flipping a coin. Hey, well, what do you think? Well, I don't know. Best 3 out of 5. You know, like.
Oh, we're back.
I'm not sure anybody really caught a lot.
We're back.
Oh.
We're back. Bartow Ford, Real Animals Radio, talking fishing this morning. Want to give a shout out to our friends over at Friendly Fisherman Seafood Restaurant. The Friendly Fisherman is at Johns Pass, is back under the management of the Hubbard family, the same family that's been serving up the best fishing and dining experiences in Madeira Beach for nearly a century. Come rediscover the Friendly Fisherman and taste the difference with the freshest seafood, improved menus, and the service you've come to expect from the Hubbard family. Enjoy unbeatable waterfront views, a welcoming atmosphere, and flavors straight from the Gulf. Locals and visitors, come see what's new today at the Friendly Fisherman Seafood Restaurant inside Fish Famous Johns Pass.
Do you have to read that, actually? I mean, by now, I think you probably should be ingrained in your soul.
It's normal. Normally, Mike's reading it, so it makes more sense when Mike reads it.
Well,
when I read
Mike
it
doesn't read all that great, but you know.
But yeah, we freestyle it a little bit too. You know, you just keep it fresh, keep it on your toes, and every week it's a little different. You know.
Yeah.
But you can't beat
fishing.
some fresh seafood, and they definitely have some good purveyors over there at the Friendly Fisherman.
But I've only been out on Hubbard's, long range boats a couple times, but they don't really have a lot of seafood. Why don't they just
We're busy catching it.
Yeah,
why would we serve seafood when you're catching seafood?
Because you got all this other stuff. You got hamburgers and spaghetti and everything else that you're having. It's really good.
Country breakfast.
Honest to God, the best food I've ever had on the water.
Yeah.
I mean, literally, if you just go for the food, it's worth it.
It's always a good time to get out there and enjoy. Everything's better on the boat too.
Yeah.
The beer tastes better. It tastes. I mean, it's just everything's better.
I don't drink on the boat.
Yeah. Well, if you're on a 39-hour trip as a guest.
I was on a 39-hour trip, and I was sort of a guest, but I mean, it was fun.
Yeah, it's a good time.
But I still didn't drink on the boat.
It is definitely an interesting time this week to get out there and capitalize on this good weather window. We finally got one, and this time of year is special. We've talked the whole show about how Capt Ray is excited inshore, nearshore, and offshore. This is an exciting time too because you start to compress your fishing opportunities, and also the fish compress their feeding times with these cold fronts. These cold fronts coming down, the wind picks up, the barometer drops, fish shut down a little bit, and then you get these narrow weather windows where they feed really heavily. So capitalize on the good fishing coming up this week. Today's going to be a little bumpy. Tomorrow's calming down a little bit, but Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and into Thursday, and even now Friday, looking pretty darn good. And as we move through the week, we'll be approaching that new moon. So the daytime fishing should get better as we move through the week as well. And the fish are turning on. We got lots of mackerel on the beach. Kingfish shouldn't be far behind. Hog fishing is really picking up near shore and that shallow stuff. Offshore, we've got red grouper, scamp grouper, triggerfish, big mangroves. This time of year, we see bigger average size mangroves. The mutton snapper bite should be picking up. We've seen an incredible pelagic bite with pretty consistent wahoo, a few of those blackfin tuna, some big kingfish already. And like Captain Mike Perry was talking about, this time of year becomes that time of year where we might see some of those sailfish showing up too. So exciting times to get out there near shore and offshore as well.
And if you're inshore fishing, you can jump right in there for the next few days before flounder season closes.
October 15th, right?
The 15th. And it's closed for about a month and a half, the end of November.
Right, when they're biting best.
Right, exactly. Well, and if you're really, really into fishing, lizardfish spawn in November. So Hang in there.
I'm marking my calendar.
The world is coming. I mean, it tastes like snook. If you've never tried one, you need to try one time. I can see the species coming up after November.
I got to say, he's got to be pulling my...
They got to be like 2-3 pounds to really get a good one.
We get some big dogs offshore. They make great red grouper bait.
Oh,
I've never eaten one because I'd send it down.
They're good gag grouper bait. We've used them inside Tampa Bay before.
There you go.
Yeah.
Grouper love the lizard fish. We don't as much, but catch tomorrow, 620 WDAE, Real Animals Sunday, 7 to 9 a.m. on 620 WDAE. Tomorrow night, 7:30 p.m., our live stream show live on the Real Animals and Hubbard's Marina Facebook and Hubbard's Marina YouTube every Sunday night, 7:30 p.m. We give away $1,500 in free trips, so join us. Also, October 28th, 7 to 9 p.m., Captain Mike, myself, and the Mad Snooker over at OCC Roadhouse.
Scary.
Captain Ray,
Scary.
Appreciate you joining, buddy.
Yeah, thanks for the invite.
All right. Real Animals Radio will be back next week. Join us again. We're out.
More lies later.
More lies later. There we go. Appreciate you all hanging out and joining us.
Oh, that's right. I always forget about that.
Yeah, they're over there. They're watching.
I hope I didn't say anything bad.
I don't think so. I think you're okay. Thank you all for tuning in and hanging out. Hopefully we'll see you tomorrow night, 7:30 p.m. for the live show. Hopefully OCC Roadhouse, you get a chance to win a 4-hour charter with Captain Dave Pomerleau, the Mad Snooker. That's going to be a good reason to join October 28th, the OCC Roadhouse event. A chance to win a charter with him. I mean, you're going to catch 35, 40 snook. Count Snookula
outfit. Because we're getting closer to Halloween here.
Yeah, and that'll be like morning time for him, 7 p.m., so he'll be all bright-eyed and bushy-tailed. He's going to be all fired up. It's going to be exciting.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Good times. Hopefully we'll see you there. Hopefully we'll see you tomorrow night. Thanks for joining us. Captain Ray, how would someone get a hold of you if they wanted to book a charter?
Well, let's see. If I was Rick Gross, I'd say, get a hold of 1-800-GAME-FISH or something like that. But call me at area code 941. Catfish. The number spells catfish. Look on your dial. It's 228-3474. I missed the marketing genius of a lifetime when I did that.
813 Catfish?
Yeah. No, not 813. 941.
941.
Yeah, that's the other side of the bay stuff.
Okay. 941 Catfish.
Or you can, always catch my address, phone number, all that kind of stuff in the back of the Florida Sportsman magazine, and look on the West Central Field report for the weekend fishing forecast and the action spotter on all that kind of stuff. It's everywhere.
It's everywhere. Look him up. Captain Ray Markham, Backwater Promotions. Thank you all for tuning in and being a part of our Real Animals family. We'll see you again next week for another episode.
CaptainRayMarkham.com.
There it is.
Oh, Lordy.
There are no reports of injury and no word yet on the cause. With Florida's News, I'm Tim Adkins.
Monday morning on the Ryan Warren Show live
on News Radio WFLA.
From the O2.com Traffic Center, O2.com, the only business software you will need.
Seems like a pretty smooth traffic flow on the major highways and roads of Tampa Bay, including north and southbound lanes of I-275. This is for Hillsborough and Pinellas. Right now, no issues north or south on I-75 either, and east and westbound lanes of I-4.